Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are, it is right now. You are right here. My name is Manuel, and it's my pleasure to welcome you. Today is day 40 of the show, and I have to congratulate you for making the best decision of the day to spend some time with me. Let's get started. Yesterday, I watched the dignified transfer of the 6 Americans who were killed shortly after the start of the war with Iran. Their bodies arrived at Dover Air Force Base, where the United States receives its fallen. The president was there, the vice president was there, the first lady, the second lady, and other dignitaries stood quietly with the families as the flag draped coffins were carried off the aircraft. It is always a solemn ceremony, and it should be, because moments like that are a reminder that war is not an abstraction. It's not a talking point, it's not a hashtag, it's not a debate clip. It is human beings. That's why it matters that the commander in chief attend whenever possible. It matters that the President of the United States look into the faces of the families who are grieving. It matters that he or she see the human cost of the orders that ultimately come from the Oval Office. No matter who the president is, that moment should exist above politics. And when I heard about these 6 Americans who had been killed, that was my hope. My hope was that for just a brief moment, we could do what Americans have historically done in moments like this: set aside our political differences and honor the fallen. Whether you supported the military action that led to this conflict or opposed it, whether you voted for this president or the last one, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or neither, these men and women chose to put on the uniform. They chose to place themselves in harm's way in service to the rest of us. They were Americans, and they deserved a moment of unity from the country they served. But that hope lasted all of about 5 minutes. Because the moment you opened social media, what you saw was one side of the political aisle standing on top of those flag draped coffins and using them as props, using them as soapboxes, standing upon the dead to score political points. Now, even if I try to be extremely generous, if I try to assume that every politician making those statements was somehow well intentioned, that maybe it was purely ideological opposition to what they believe is an illegal war, or maybe they see themselves as peace activists, or whatever explanation someone might offer that isn't simply about attacking President Trump, even if I grant them that grace, it is still completely inappropriate, because you could at least wait until the ceremony is over. You could at least give the families a period of mourning and grief. One of the things that happens when you politicize something like this is that you force grieving families into a political position. You force them indirectly to take a stand. Are they supposed to publicly affirm that their sons and daughters died in service of something noble and legitimate? Or are they supposed to publicly condemn the policy decisions that led to the war? In other words, you're pushing them into a situation where they feel pressure to either support the president who gave the orders or denounce him. And no family should have to deal with that while they're grieving the loss of a mother or a brother or a son or a grandchild. At that moment, nobody wants to hear politicians arguing about the war. They don't want one politician using their loved one's death to promote the war. They don't want another politician using that same death to denounce the war. They don't want their fallen family member turned into ammunition into someone's political fight. And the truth is, inside every family especially that has lost someone in uniform, there are different opinions. Some relatives may be furious at the sitting president. Others may take comfort in supporting the commander in chief. That's their decision. That's their family conversation. But we, as a nation, should not be dragging them into the debate. What we should be offering them is simple: our condolences, our support, our prayers, our love, our admiration and respect for their fallen sons and daughters. We should not be trying to recruit their grief for one side of a political argument or the other. Not now, not at that moment. Look, it hurts me to see that happen. I was heartbroken for the 6 Americans we lost. I already felt grief and sadness. I was heartbroken for the families who now have an empty seat at the table that will never be filled again. And let me be very clear about something. I hate war. I hate the needless deaths. I hate the waste of human life that war always brings. And yet, I also recognize that sometimes war is necessary, and sometimes war is unavoidable. But if you've been listening with honest ears, you'll notice something in what I've said today, or what I have not said today. I have not argued for the war, and I have not argued against it. Because right now, my focus is on the families of the fallen. And when that is your focus, you notice very quickly who else shares that focus and who clearly does not. And when you see people using the deaths of these Americans as a political weapon within minutes of their passing, it is disgusting. It should disgust everyone. Those who did it should be ashamed of themselves, and those who show no shame should be shamed by the rest of us. So I'll leave you with a simple plea. In moments like this, let's give it a day, maybe two. Let's wait more than 5 minutes before diving back into the political fight. Let's put aside our differences, even briefly. Let's mourn together. Let's grieve together. Because the men and women who wear the uniform serve all of us. And the least we can do is honor them. All right. That's enough for today. We'll continue next time. And as always, be useful.